Right, so Luke Ray here again for the game Sportcast. I'm the online editor, and I'm here with Daniel Smith, who's our non-league football correspondent. And we're joined today by Paul Ray, who's the newspaper editor. So it's a rare treat for us here at the Sportcast to be in such good company, really. And we'll start off today looking at P&E, and well, they got back on track last Saturday with a hard-fought, shall we say, 2-1 victory at home to Coventry City. Paul, you saw the game. How do you feel it went?
I thought it went really well. I thought they showed grit and determination to come back. I thought John Parkin proved his worth again with another late winner there. Obviously, that's moved them up to 7th now in the table, level on points with Cardiff. I think Cardiff have got 3 games in hand over P&A, so they'll struggle to stay where they are. But I think if they can keep up their home form, then they should be in the playoffs at the end of the season.
It was another important goal, Daniel, from Parkin, wasn't it? He might not look the most skillful or effective, but he doesn't have to do a good job, does he?
He's strong. He's just a good old-fashioned centre forward. Like, he hasn't got many technical attributes to him. No offence to the guy, but he's just a powerhouse. He comes through and he bundles the ball into the net, which is exactly what a team like P&E need. Like, the Championships, it's a competitive league, but whereas the Premier League focuses on skill, the Championship is nitty-gritty, and you've got to just get down to it. And that's what Parkin brings to Preston, which is vital if they are to get promoted this season.
And Paul, you were at the game, weren't you? He's known by the fans as a beast, but it's definitely a compliment rather than a criticism, isn't it?
Definitely, and I think the stats this season don't lie. I think he's Preston North End's top scorer this season, and goals change games. And as you can see, it's game after game now. John Parkin seems to be scoring in North End and moving up the league.
And looking ahead briefly to this Saturday, the side travel struggling Charlton, who look dead and buried really. They don't look like they've got hope in hell of staying up, but Daniel, off in that neck of the woods, how do you see it going?
It's a tough one. Like Charlton, they've got some good players in there. Like they've got Darren Ambrose, and they've got Zheng Ji, China captain. So they're not bad players, but they just haven't got it going together. And there's no chance that they will be able to pull themselves out of the position they're in at the moment. But you never know, and they're at home, and Preston don't always travel too well, but I just have to wait and see. I've got a feeling it could go to P&E's way though.
And yeah, only 3 away league wins this season for P&E. They've got to address that really at the weekend, haven't they, Paul?
They do. Just last week I was speaking to Ross Wallace, and he exclusively told the game that he's been disappointed with Preston North End's recent away form. And hopefully, they can hopefully pick that up on Saturday.
Yeah, how is it important, isn't that Wallace gets on the score sheet or has a good game, Dan? I mean, surely, would you go as far as that defeat at the Valley would spell the end for Preston's promotion hopes this season?
I think that's a bold statement, but I think it could be a statement that if P&E did lose, then I don't think they can put it back, because Cardiff have 3 games in hand over them, and Preston are in the final playoff spot, and it's just really tight up there. But there aren't that many games, but I'd say it's too early to rule anyone out, because all you've got to do is win 3 or 4 games, and then you're there. You're all thereabouts. So I wouldn't rule them out just yet, but anything can happen.
Right, lads, we're not here to sit on the fence. I always want a prediction from both of you for Saturday. First of you, Dan.
I'm going to go for 2-1 to P&E. I think Ross Wallace is going to get a goal, and I also think Sean St. Ledger could pop up with a cheeky header.
Good. Hit it first. I'll get your pound on St. Ledger for the first goal, and some good odds on that. Paul, how about you?
I think it's going to be close in the first half, but I think Charlton have been shipping quite a few goals towards the end of games this season, so I'm going to go for 2-0 to Preston with a John Parkin double, I think. Oh, just a quick word on Barry Nicholson. Everyone here at the game is wishing him a speedy recovery, and we hope to see him playing again as soon as possible.
Yeah, I echo those sentiments, and I'm sure Daniel Swift does too. Away from the Championship now, we'll look at Bamber Bridge. They're in action this weekend. For those who don't know, Dan, how did they do?
Not too good. The game was even on 70 minutes. Garforth Town played some really good stuff though, and they were quite dominant, and they were lucky not to go ahead. But on 70 minutes, Glenn Steele was the last man back, and he pulled down a Garforth attacker in the penalty area, so he got sent off, and that ultimately changed the game. Needless to say, Garforth buried their penalty, but all credit to Bamba, who fought back, and despite being a man down, they managed to grab an equaliser. Stephen Brown, the scorer, but in the end, Garforth had the extra man, and it's a gritty non-league, and I think they were just fitter than Bamba at the end of the day, and they managed to pull in to go 2 ahead, and they were just dominant, and they could have had a 4 or 5.
That's a disappointment in the end for Bamber Bridge then. So I hear that Charlie suffered a different look on Saturday.
Yeah, Chorley won. Speaking to the manager, I speak to him quite often, a lovely guy, Tony Hesketh. He's not really going, like, they may have won, but he's not really going for, they're not really looking up the table too much. They're down at the bottom, but they're like, last time I checked, they were 26 points clear of relegation, but they were saying that they were about the same amount of points away from the playoff places. But they've had some financial difficulties this year, or quite a few, and they've really struggled, so they've had to play a lot of young players, and there's quite a few experienced heads in this league who have seasoned pros, well, not pros, but seasoned footballers, and it's good to see these youngsters coming in, and I think next season could bode well for Chorley and Hesketh's men.
That sounds good, Dan. Some bright times ahead. That was the game's football Sportcast. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure you did. If you want more of the same, come back next Monday for more football chat and reaction.